Welcome back. You're watching TV47 Prime. We buckle down now to a discussion with the panelists who are already here. I'm joined by Dr. Martin Olo, advocate of the High Court. Also, we're joined by Fred Okango, who is a strategic advisor. We're joined by Brian Weke, lawyer, and also Linda Mwananchi, activist. Very interesting editorial cartoon that we do have in the Star. As you can see, United Opposition flag bearer. And you can see there people who are in the race. That is Kalonzo Musyoka there. And there is a whole debate around Kalonzo emerging as an opposition's consensus presidential candidate. And also still on the front page of the Star tomorrow, big test for Musalia with Weta in Sifuna Tawe Western Onslaught. The story is tucked away on page 4 and 5 of the publication. Linda Mwananchi and Tawe close ranks to ring fence vote-rich region. And you can see Ruto and Sifuna allies from Western. Also, they're all splashed there on the front page of the publication tomorrow. And we just want also to just look at this with our panelists briefly. Let me just begin with you, Brian Weke, just answering this question on the latest developments so far. Yes, we can see that everyone, especially in Bungoma, we have Tawe movement, and we have the governor here saying that they are preparing for a Sifuna presidency. Is that confirmed yet? These rumors? And what does it really portend now for the Western region, even as they await to crown him as the Western kingpin?
First, it's very unfortunate.
Unfortunate?
That we want to discuss Sifuna as a Western kingpin. Sifuna stands for many, many serious issues. And we've gone all the entire country. And if you see the way our team, and mostly Sifuna, is being received all over the country, I can tell you what will happen in Western. If you're not with Sifuna, you are definitely going home. And Martin will bear me witness. We have been in Kakamega, we have been in Busia, we are yet to have a Linda Mwananchi rally in Bungoma and Trans Nzoia. And I think we'll be having that on the 24th. Mm-hmm. And I think that is where you will see a number of leaders within the Western corridor declaring Sifuna as the presidential candidate. But we want to make it very clear that Sifuna is not a regional leader. He is a national leader. Mm-hmm. And you've seen even when we went to Kisumu, when we went to all other parts of the country, we were in Thika. You saw the way Mulima received us. We were in Mombasa. You saw how the Coastarians received us. So I don't want to look at Sifuna as a regional leader. But
this is what George Natembeya is saying. If also my director may just pick up this. He's saying the Bungoma meeting will crown Sifuna as the political leader of the Luhya nation before releasing him to embark on a nationwide presidential campaign. All politics, they say, is local.
It is local, right? Yeah. Absolutely.
This is
absolutely.
What so John Alton said. So we have now to crown him as a local leader.
He needs to come, and you see this all the time.
Yes.
William Samoei Ruto went back to be crowned as a Kalenjin elder to get to the national stage. Raila was sometimes a Luhya leader, sometimes a Luo leader, but then he went there and then came to the national level. So yes, politics is local. So when they say they want to crown their son, it's very important. You don't send a son to war without your blessings.
Indeed.
So I think it's okay. And I want to say that even though he says he's a national asset, but we also have to stress the fact that he has a background to come from, or he has a background from which he springs. And once he springs from that background with that support galvanized, in fact, like he has just said it right, he has not held a rally in Bungoma, and rightly so, because he needed to make sure that the rest of Western was with him. Then he can do a rally in Bungoma, because
it's a show for him.
Yes, Bungoma seems to be like, that's the bedrock, that's where Natembeya is, and that's where many of the people who say he's their leader, he's their person. So basically what we should be saying is that, yes, you do not start a journey without seeking blessings from your people. So what would happen if that's what the governor is saying? It will be correct. It will be politically okay to say, yes, we want to crown you so that when you go out there, go with our blessings. And that will be even biblical.
So Brian Weke doesn't want to pigeonhole Sifuna with a tribal tag that now he's, you know, a Luya asset, so to speak.
Dibal, you remember when Matiang'i first declared that he was coming to run for president? And if I was his advisor, I would have asked him to start in Nairobi, move to all these parts of the country, then he can go back to Kisii. But when he came in,
he started with Kisii.
He started with Kisii. That really boomeranged on him.
No, but it's very important to start from
yeah. So, yeah, and you see, you maybe in a church function, but politically, so immediately after Matiang'i declared his candidature in Kisii, then people looked at him as a tribal candidate. And you see the reason why Sifuna is very popular. And I would agree to some extent with my brother Martin that now he can go back home and be crowned as a leader within that area after going around the country. But that will not stop us from the prize. We are very clear of what we want. What we are proposing is that while we respect that Kalonzo is a senior politician, we want a Biden Obama ticket. You remember Obama now was a young senator, a black man, very young, was a novice in politics, but he got a very strong deputy president that would be able to support him. And you know, we have also a young senator, not too experienced.
One term,
very popular. You know, even Obama was a
one term, senator, it's true.
So we need a very strong deputy to support us so that we can push the country forward. We are not saying that Kalonzo Sifuna ticket is a bad ticket or Kalonzo Matiang'i ticket is a bad ticket. We're just saying that a Sifuna Kalonzo ticket is a masterpiece.
All right.
Is a masterstroke.
Okay, let's hear from Fred Okango on this as well. Do you think this is premature for, you know, Sifuna to actually go for the big seat as it is right now? Many people will say, hey, you need to bide his time to, you know, go up through the ranks. So I wonder, what is your take?
As a young man.
Dibal, you know, sometimes I listen to Weke and I really get entertained. Sifuna is my friend and I wish him the best. But history teaches us that for you to win the presidency of this country, you must have certain things. One of them that you must have a constituency that you bank on before you go and seek for votes from elsewhere. Number two, history teaches us that you must have the financial muscle. Then number three, history teaches us that you must have the international network. I am, as a young man, I'm very encouraged by what he's doing. However, I want to believe that the dreams that Weke and team are having, they are very good dreams. They'll actualize them if they work hard sometime. But for 2027, I can bet Sifuna will not be president of the Republic of Kenya in 2027. And I'm saying this with a lot of confidence. On 8th of July 2026, seated on this studio, you'll call us back here and we'll talk about it. The reason is because the election that we are going to go into is an election that will require a lot of arithmetic. It is an election that will require a lot of political economy development. It's an election that will demand of the aspirants, when they become candidates, to make coalitions. So if you ask me today that Weke and the team are looking for a Obama-Biden ticket, so that is Sifuna Kalonzo ticket. I've worked with Kalonzo, by the way, for a very long time. He's the senior most in that team. He's the most experienced. In fact, he has international network. He has got a block of vote that he's delivering. So if you tell me that it is Sifuna Kalonzo, what are you saying? it means that ticket is already torn. It cannot hold, it will not hold, it cannot work because of the ego, because of the issues around the voters themselves, the electorate that support their own. Now, you have said that, Weka said that Sifuna is now going back on 24th, where he'll be declared or be released to go and run for presidency. Do you know why he's doing that? Sifuna is looking for a running mate position. So he'll be trying to tell the public that he's running for presidency. Then he'll go and negotiate with Kalonzo to be Kalonzo's running mate. I can tell you that with a fact because I know it. I wish them the best. And in politics, we are competitors. We are not enemies. If we compete and they win, fair enough. If we win, fair enough. But I can guarantee you, the election of 2027, power is about resources that you distribute and the numbers. Weke is my friend, and he'll keep asking me, show me where Ruto's numbers are. I've refused to show him, but I've shown him what Ruto has done to get the numbers. So if we actualize that, then sometimes post-election, even this Weke speaking here will be supporting President-elect Dr. William Samoei Ruto.
Right, but if then that is what is up the collective sleeves of Linda Mwananchi, or maybe we have the United Opposition, we have Kalonzo and we have Sifuna as the deputy. Everyone has been saying this will be a sure win. It will be a winning ticket for the United Opposition, without a doubt.
Let me tell you,
without even batting an eyelid. They will take.
You cannot say without a doubt. You cannot say it will be a sure ticket. In Kenya, we have seen there is no sure election. Anything. I was in Azimio. I campaigned for Raila Odinga. I worked in the secretariat for Raila Odinga. We knew that we are going to win until the very morning when we saw outriders riding with Ruto to Bomas. We lost that election. So you cannot say that. But what you can say, you can project. I know what Weke and team, because Weke is their strategist, what they are doing, they are projecting numbers. And they are assuming that all the Luyas are with Sifuna. They are assuming all Kikuyus are with Sifuna. They are assuming all the Kisis are Sifuna, because there are principles in their movement that come from those regions. That is not how it works. The people of Kenya today are well educated, well versed with the politics, and they understand that politics is what you live, the lived experience. What is it for me? What is it in my table now? They are telling us they want to be president. What have they done to the people? The current president can actually demonstrate.
They don't have to do.
Can actually demonstrate what he has done.
We are nowhere.
The people of Kenya want to see, they want to feel, they want to hold. They have nothing to show. They have nothing to give people to hold. They have nothing to demonstrate to the people that they deserve.
This is the problem with the incumbency. They think that what people need is to feel, to touch. In fact, there are so many people who have lost elections, political people who have lost elections on account of development. That you've gone there, you've built a hospital, you've gone there, you've built a school, a road, and you tell people...
Ask Arun Mwau.
Yeah, Arun Mwau. Ask Raphael Tuju. They've lost elections. Look, elections are not about projects.
They are comparing Arun Mwau to Ruto.
But we need to reorient our politics to such kind of politics.
That's it.
Yes,
because
no.
as he says, it's all about distribution of resources at the end of the day. So it's not really about also just charisma and the one term, two term pronouncements.
You cannot eat charisma.
Dibal, yes. Allow me to respond to what is asked. You see, Sifuna. Let me speak for Sifuna. Sifuna is a one-term senator. The only way to judge Sifuna is what has he done as a senator. Has he been able to check the excesses of the governor? Has he been able to put the governor to account? Has he been able to look at the issues that this was a position that the governor was supposed to do, and this is where he is? And I think he's done an exemplary work in terms of that. But I want to come back to my brother, Fred Matiang'i. Fred
Okango.
Okango. And you know, it's actually called
Fred,
Okango.
but
Like
also,
Fred Okango, Matiang'i. You know,
maybe you should be supporting.
Yeah, we'll be discussing about Matiang'i in a moment as well.
you know,
Warakala.
I like the way he uses history when it favors him. That history has taught us. History has taught us that you need to have money, you need to have international exposure, you need to have your backyard to be president.
Yes.
Now, his candidate has been a candidate of firsts. History teaches us that you cannot run for president once and you're declared for president. Guess what?
William
Ruto ran once and he was declared
Was
president.
a deputy president? Was
no,
a
no, no.
minister?
No. Running for president.
Running for president.
Fred, listen.
He has been-
Running for
he
president.
He has been an enemy of first,
Yeah.
a candidate of first. He is the first guy who ran for deputy president for the first time and he was elected. He is the first guy who went to that international court. What was it called?
ICC.
ICC.
And still ran for office.
And still ran for office with a charge of ICC. And he was elected as a deputy president. He tells me about international connections. I don't know what. This is a guy
Who had nothing
who is a
until-
suspect in an international criminal court, including today. The matter has never been declared. But guess what? The guy was allowed to run as a suspect, and he was declared president. So, Okango, don't use those history issues when they
Right.
you think they favor you.
Okay.
You know-
let's
Number
say from,
two.
Let's say from yes.
I'm here to finish.
Okay.
You know, Okango is a good friend of mine. And you know, this game is a game of numbers. How did William Ruto beat Raila? Very simple. He had the Mount Kenya vote, he had the Rift Valley vote, and then small pockets of votes. He had 2 solid votes on his ticket. Now I ask him, Okango, give me the numbers. Where do you have the numbers?
I can't give you.
Mount Kenya
No, he'll not
is
do
gone.
I'll show you what people want.
Cumberland is gone. Coast, done and dusted. Luyaland is, if there is a place where is one term, I don't know what is happening
you know
to
the bad,
Akina
right.
Martin Olo's place.
Let's say from Martin.
okay.
We'll come to you.
I don't know what is happening to
have a
Akina
chance.
Martin Olo's
Okay.
place. Those guys, they sleep, wake up one term. In Luo Nyanza, they don't have votes. So I ask him, Okango, give me votes. And he say, we will find them.
But you know, all that we are talking about is speculation. We don't have any substantive,
Absolutely.
confirmable facts regarding the numbers as well.
No,
Yes,
and we are
Dr.
not
Martin.
going to go into that because here we are not number crunching. But there is something here about history and about the facts. So first DP, first president, there could also be a first one-timer, but that's another story.
Correct.
So let's come back to the real issues that you are discussing.
Yes.
We have said that we have the jewel out there. We have a number of aspirants. Of course, the truth of the matter is that unless the united opposition close ranks and come together, the ground will be difficult, no doubt, because then the incumbency will come in, then the resource issue will come in. But to say that all that Kenyans want is to touch money, it's okay. But one thing that, and I want to tell Fred, that's a young man, one thing that these young people forget, that in 2002, when Uhuru first came, Kanu had money. Moi was in power, but he lost. So if the issue is about money, if the issue about incumbency, if the issue is about money, then Moi should have helped Uhuru to take over in 2002. Now, remember, Kibaki wasn't the best of the candidates in 2002. No.
He didn't have
But
money.
he was the compromise candidate. When they said this is the person, they were not saying he's the best person, they're saying this is the person. In this game, all that the politicians need to do is to decide whether they really want to dislodge the current government or not. If they want to, it's not about who is the best or who is the, it's just about who they want to front. And it can be any of the people who have said, it can even be Sifuna, it can be Matiang'i, it can be Alonso.
Right.
Whatever they decide, that person will have the support of the people. So having said that, what we need to do is to come back and ask ourselves, what is it that the Kenyans are looking for? You know, when I hear people like Fred telling me that in this country you need resources, what did Jomo Kenyatta have when he won? What did Martin Shikuku have? What did people like Masinde Muliro have when they were coming into power? What did people like Matiba have when they were coming into power? This issue of money is a recent phenomenon. It's not a historical fact. What did Kibaki have when he was campaigning in 2002? It was people saying this is our leader and people putting together resources and deciding. Now you can loot the country, you can accumulate for what you want, but power is not necessarily gotten because of the amount of resources and money you have. Neither is it gotten because of the roads you claim you have done and so on. It is whether you are moving with the people, because politics is about people. If people don't feel connected with you, if people don't feel that you are resonating with them, it does not matter what you've done. If the moment is not ripe for you,
right?
Yeah. So what I want to say before I even close this is that nobody can be dismissed in this business. Not even Ruto, for example. Not even Sifuna, for example. Not even Matiang'i, for example. Not even Kalonzo. You cannot dismiss anybody. What you want to ask is, when Kenyans come together and they make a decision, any one of these persons can be their leader.
Right. So we have also the pundits who are advancing this notion that the moment also the united opposition announces their, the presidential candidate, that will be the beginning of and the end of the united opposition as it is. Even on this, we see they are actually differing factions, that whether we should go the scientific way or we should negotiate, in the boardrooms on who will be the presidential candidate. Already, we can see Kalonzo has gone full steam ahead to, and the allies to declare that, Wamunyoro also has subliminally, endorsed him. We've had also Justin Muturi now endorsing Kalonzo to be the presidential candidate, as it were. So there's still no clarity on that particular arena, and I wonder why will Kalonzo go full steam ahead, or his allies announce or speak or hold a brief for Munyoro while he's taken, a retreat in Wamunyoro's.
There's no retreat.
There's no retreat.
You can't take a retreat when things are hot. They are losing, even in Kalau.
No, it's a retreat
to
consult.
That's okay.
Yeah,
there's something you have said. The opposition have not been coherent on so many issues. Imagine 6, 7 gentlemen cannot sit in a room and agree to push forward a candidate that is going to dislodge an unpopular president.
Let alone just agree on a name.
No, forget about that. Now, the ambition in them cannot allow them, the ego cannot allow them. But you see, in election, numbers is a product of ballot. You can only ascertain the numbers after an election, because everyone has equal chances. But Martin has said something that, history, Matiba, Kibaki. Martin is referring us to past elections, 2007, past.
2002.
2002. Those are past. The modern voter.
But I thought you had I thought you had a history of history.
No. I was telling you history that teaches us about what we want to hold, to see, to live as experience. But in terms of numbers, the experience changes. Experience remains constant, but what we experience changes. We have experienced numbers before when we have nothing. Today, for you to go to 50,000 polling stations, you need resources. To go to 47 counties, you need resources. To go to 290 constituencies, you need resources.
So what are you advancing?
To go to 1,450.
The united opposition are not resources.
I am saying.
He's saying that.
I am saying that I doubt the capability of the current opposition in terms of resources to meet people at the point of need. President William Ruto has been to every ward, 1,450 of them in this country, including my ward, Kakelo Kokwan.
And they still hated.
Listen, it means you are in touch with the people. The hate that Weke is talking about is perception. But the actual reality on the ground is there are certain projects that people connect with, including those who did not vote for him, like some of us.
All right.
So what I'm saying is, as we go to this election, Weke and Olo must remember that the people of Kenya are not that stupid as the way they think. They can say one term, but on the election date, they remember that my child is in school today because of Ruto. that my mother
actually
can
not in
go
school.
to SHA and get, I can go to hospital and get SHA because of Ruto.
Or they
That
miss
I
SHA.
can use an expressway from here to wherever because of Ruto. What has Sifuna and Kalonzo done?
And they don't
what have they have to show?
So if-
other than one term, Kasongo
But
must go.
Expressway, was it the project of...
I am telling
Yeah, we
you
didn't-
as an
or
example,
who-
as an example. Mau Summit Rironi. I'm giving you examples.
Okay.
You know, those are issues that are tangible. On that metrics, William Ruto has put a compelling case for re-election.
Okay.
That is the truth.
All right. Kalonzo Musyoka also has not been to any nook and cranny of this Kenya, right? Aside maybe from Mukambani region, as it were. We are speaking 13 months to general election.
long
Just as they
time.
say.
No party,
Ruto
no
has-
coalition, no candidate,
Yeah.
no
Down to
nothing.
Yeah, down to the
Slogans.
ground, he has been there. But what about Kalonzo Musyoka?
let me-
When you're talking about reaching the periphery,
Just before that, Dibal, Okango needs to make up his mind. Is he talking about money or resources?
yeah.
Because those are
I'm talking about lived experience.
Allow
Whether
me.
it is
no.
money,
Allow me.
On resources.
Allow me. On resources.
So these are not
they-
differential semantics.
Yeah.
We're talking about resources.
on resources they have Uhuru
Yeah.
Kenyatta.
There is
Money is money resource or resource is money?
money is just a small aspect of resources. Now, people is one of the biggest resource you can ever have.
That's true.
Now,
I agree.
I'll also, you know, the problem with Okango, he got into government.
Exactly. But
And he has forgotten
No.
how we ran opposition politics.
But can I take you on to the people? You're saying people. Does Kalonzo have people? Because this is
No,
what we ask. Has he reached the people?
People as a resource.
What
That's
is
it,
he doing to reach
I will,
the people?
I will
Make
come
the
back.
point.
I will come back to, let me make my point first.
Please do.
So I want to remind Okango, but there are two ways of getting money.
Okay.
Even let's now discuss money
As a resource.
Number one, I can only speak for Linda Mwananchi, myself. And as Linda Mwananchi, we have the resources. And our resource is the people. The young people that you're seeing
All right.
all over. Number two, money, there are two ways of getting money. Number one is through Okango's route, where they're looting money. Or number two, you go back to the people who will give you money. And that is what is happening in Linda Mwananchi.
I'll appreciate evidence.
Our,
Yeah,
no.
on
If you ask me,
national television.
I will tell you, I'm a lawyer. When I say looting, I mean looting. Ask me to substantiate, I will do it.
Yes, please do.
Now, the other thing which I'll talk about here is, you know, Kango likes talking about history, and yet he does not consume history. If he remembers Pentagon, do you know in Pentagon, Raila was not even the favorite candidate? I don't know whether you remember Martin Olo.
Yes.
Those guys ganged up and they were proposing Musalia as a presidential candidate. So Raila had to go back to the people and they said these few people will not decide who the candidate is. He went back to Rift Valley and the Kalenjins endorsed him.
Arab Mebe.
Was there and they called him Arap Mibei. Okango should understand that the opposition know who their candidate is. It is a strategy. We do not want to give them fodder. We've planned our.
We have fodder already.
They are
As we take a short break.
strategic and strategic. I agree.
There's no problem.
No, we have fodder already.
13 months is a
So,
very long
it
time.
is
Very
not
long time.
strategic.
In politics. Now,
Are you testing
I also
waters?
want-
Can we take a short break, then we circle back, please? Yeah. Let's take a short break and understand also Gitele Naituli is around so that we can also accommodate him. He's running late a bit. We take a short break. You're watching TV 47 Prime. This.
My father used to tell me that a hotel is the home for travelers. I guess I forgot that. Recently, it's been more of a mirror of my own ambition. We might fail. We will probably fail, but not for a lack of trying. So for the last time, and the first time, welcome to Connect In, the best experience in Eastern Central Africa and its environs.
This is a very serious place.
I see that. Surely. Hey, nyumba.
This is the place.
Just for a few days.
Rule number 2.
Kwani Google inajua maisha yangu wewe?
That's my seat. It's a chair. It was hers.
You know here?
Yes.
You learn the rhythm.
This place is run by structure. Structure.
It is a system. Ni venye tu ni system haisikizi.
And what happens if something you haven't chosen enters your day?
I remove it.
That's not always going to be possible here.
Then you are going to have a problem.
Noted.
What are you planning? To escape from a resort?
This is not a resort, my friend. This is a storage.
You have to be very careful. Fake money can kill business.
Na leo mko rada yangu.
Small money, kapesa kadogo, big behavior.
I only have big notes.
Alikuwa anatafuta courage.
Yaani nafaje kutengeneza kachumbari na manyanya zinakaa hivi? Ona kiki ni kama kiwaru.
Hiyo inaitwa commitment to the lie. Amejicommit.
Ndio hiyo. Mpatie.
Unajua kama una mtu kitu, hata tu salamu ya kawaida inakaa kama reminder.
Habari yako?
Sintalipa kesho.
Kesho gani when?
Si kesho ya kesho ya tomorrow.
Your turn.
Mzee ni budi nikamchoka.
Ni budi ya madeni.
Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m.
You have to be very careful. Fake money can kill business.
Na leo mko rada yangu.
Small money, kapesa kadogo, big behavior.
I only have big notes.
Alikuwa anatafuta courage.
Yaani nafaje kutengeneza kachumbari na manyanya zinakaa hivi? Ona kiki ni kama kiwaru.
Hiyo inaitwa commitment to the lie. Amejicommit.
Ndio hiyo. Mpatie.
Unajua kama una mtu kitu, hata tu salamu ya kawaida inakaa kama reminder.
Habari yako?
Sintalipa kesho.
Kesho gani when?
Si kesho ya kesho ya tomorrow.
Your turn.
Mzee ni budi nikamchoka.
Ni budi ya madeni.
Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. on TV 47. Sundays at 8:30 p.m.
Good morning.
You have my rent?
Leo jioni kama tutakuwa tumelipa rent, nauza simu yako.
Hamna pesa.
I need 3 G's to make my nails today.
Sasa hivi natuhusu aje?
Can I order now? Do you ship? Can I get blinking ones?
Mimi nilikuwa na trade. Nimewekelea kitele yangu. Kitele yangu na trade. Nikikunywa maji.
Oh my God. He left me.
Nitumie ni live.
Uko nje kuna wifi.
Welcome back. Quite a riveting, compelling discussion that we are having here, looking at the lay of the land as far as politics is concerned. And also now we're joined by Professor Gitile Naituli, who is a governance and policy analyst. But before we took a short break, I think we were on Brian Weke, right? Were you on your second point before we go to Fred Okango?
Yes.
Yes.
Always saying my second point.
My,
second
my,
point.
yeah. So, which is not forthcoming.
No, I just wanted to remind the history student who likes history and does not like history. He chooses when
it is convenient.
when it is convenient for him. That even in 2002, when Kibaki beat Moi's candidate then, Uhuru Kenyatta, you remember we had NAC.
Yeah.
And NAC still took time to wait for the team that was in camp to unplug. Then they merged very late towards election. And they delivered a resounding victory. So I want my brother to be schooled.
So timing issue is not really a factor.
It is too early.
But we had Azimio last year. You know, people were saying, hey, Azimio also, they're really biding their time. They need to name their presidential candidate. And when now they made that particular announcement, people were saying, now this is way too late. They cannot catch up with William Ruto, who, you know, he has been an incumbent. He has been actually campaigning whilst he was still a deputy president. So to catch up with him was way too late.
You see, Dibal.
We'll come to you, yeah.
Dibal, Weke and the team, they are underestimating who they are competing. They don't know him.
No, we do.
In fact,
we know William.
Weke and team are comparing William Ruto, I don't know, Kibaki's you.
No, we're comparing with Moi.
What are you saying?
Exactly.
This is a gentleman who is a senior politician. He is a tactician in politics. So when you start saying it is too early, you know, we can give you a candidate in 3 months, woe unto you. Because you will be whitewashed. You will be taken for breakfast by 10 a.m. in the morning by William Ruto. So I don't want to advise them, but I want to say certain things that are factual. It is important to prepare for a journey. It is important to put your troops in place. You must have a vehicle, you must have the seats in the car, you must have fuel in the car, and you must have the path to victory. It is not clear. These people, I said earlier, they have been incoherent on so many issues. No policy agenda, no candidate, no party, no platform, no name, no nothing, no name. So if you are going to defeat William Ruto as you claim, are you going to defeat William Ruto through miracles? Right. Even miracles ended during Jesus.
Okay,
but not there.
Professor Gitila Naituli,
Before you bring in Professor, from what he's saying, they have already won. So why is he worried? Just relax.
No.
Because
you said you have already won.
No,
I'm
you're
just saying
that is, you have a tactician, you have a strategist.
Well,
why don't you?
Path and seats and everything to move.
Right, that's fine. But don't advise you.
I'm not advising. I'm pointing out.
Let's listen to
you know. You know, I like Ruto supporters. And I like the passion, because they are really passionate. Because let me tell you, the biggest weakness of Raila Odinga, why he never became president, because he used to win the election before he wins. And that's how he lost the elections. He bring all his guys down because he has already won. And that's how he lost every election. The same people supporting William Ruto today are the same people who never made Raila president. And that is why I'm very happy with them.
Including Oburu.
Yes, including Oburu, of course. That's why it's okay with their passion, because their passion has no measure. You see, when you are over passionate, it's in difficulty to be a strategist.
I thought Otieno Kajwang was saying we need a passiometer.
You send out to measure. I remember Kajwang. You see, usually what wins the election is a strategy, not tactics. Because tactics can lose war. But a strategy wins the war. Now, there is no Ruto supporter today who is a strategist. They are all tacticians. Because they are the same people who are around Raila Odinga, and they were never able to make Raila Odinga president.
But
and that is why the opposition needs to be happy with the kind of people who are surrounding William Ruto.
Okay.
They should have no problem with these people.
Let's flip the coin now to the United Opposition.
Now, let me say this.
Where you are the strategist.
The Kenyans already know who the candidate for the alternative, united alternative government is. They know. They even know who is the deputy.
We don't know.
No, you know. Trust me.
Me as a Kenyan.
You can just see it.
That's why we are discussing.
The Kenyans know.
They dreamers.
The Kenyans know because it's very easy.
Yeah?
It's very easy to see. Look, somebody like Sifuna. Let me just talk about Sifuna. Sifuna will have to be in that ticket as either the president or the deputy. So you can't tell me the Kenyans don't know who the deputy president or the president will be. You take Kalonzo.
Yeah, it seems that we are speaking to one of the strategies.
So I'm not trying to reveal anything because I don't need to.
Can I get confirmation from you then? Because there's a lot of speculation here that Kalonzo is now the opposition consensus presidential candidate. Easy.
No, you need to be very careful about that.
Why?
Well, the reason is very simple.
But you've told Kenyans already no.
No, I told you Kenya. I'm not a Kenyan.
You're not a Kenyan again.
I'm talking about Kenyans, not me. I'm not a Kenyan. the Kenyans, and I've given an example of one person.
Okay.
Because you see, let's just forget about the passion. Let's be very rational Kenyans. In this country, we have always been making tribal blocks. In 2013, we had the Kalenjin Kikuyu Alliance produced. We had 2013. We had the Kikuyu Kalenjin Alliance produced Uhuru Kenyatta. In 2022, what we had was Kalenjin Kikuyu Alliance produced William Ruto. So it's very easy to figure out how this thing is going to go. Because all you have to do is you have Kalonzo, you have Sifuna, you have the Mount Kenya. You understand?
Right. But maybe you should have read also Fred's article today in the Star, because he argues that the 2027 will no longer be about tribal.
Which
No.
Which one?
Athletic.
Which Fred? Which
Fred?
Not Fred Matiang'i, the Fred Okango. His article. Now listen to what he says in the Star. Fred, he argues that 2027 will no longer be about tribal.
Listen,
That's what he thinks.
But about
in fact, if he was a serious analyst, he will tell you 2027 may very well be about the economy. And not actually about the tribe.
Indeed.
Because what has happened is the government has demolished the economy so thoroughly that if Ruto, from bad luck, he has to get an extra day. After 2027, the economy will collapse 6 months after he takes power. So if you now they are even have a law now trying to attack the SACCOs. You go to SACCOs when you are finished. Yeah. You don't go to SACCOs when you have others
clarifying that.
Propaganda.
I think that is misinformation.
Misinformation.
Let's hear from
the truth of the matter.
Let's hear from
The truth of the matter is this: that when you fragment and try to dismember the SACCO movement, you are actually disabling it, because what you are saying
in the country
is that you have problems with the Cuscos of this world. Yes, they might be having problems, but you have no reason to want to dismember, decentralize SACCOs in a way that then does not pull them together. But that's not really the issue. The issue here is this, and Fred is an advisor to this government. It has lost touch with the people. Because when you start even wanting to know how people are saving, selling their chickens.
The electoral chickens.
I mean, you're losing.
And there's some rabbits.
What people want is some level of freedom to make decisions, financial decisions, economic decisions.
That's what we have done
within their spaces. And that's what people are looking for. So when you leave them that way, they be entrepreneurial. So you don't want to be having a government in the face of everything. These guys want to be in SACCOs, they want to be in the villages, they want to be in banks, they want to be in health. That is not how you run an economy. You allow enterprise, the human enterprise, to flourish. When people flourish, an economy grows.
You see,
right.
the bound, just one minute.
Just hang on.
One minute.
Hang on.
What you having is what
I have no problem being helped. Let him help me and then I'll continue.
What you having is what is called an extractive government. An extractive government is not an investing government. It's a government whose business is to extract. Extracting means taxing to the bare bones. You understand? That's what this government is about.
Hang on. Let's hear from
did I finish?
Fred Okango. Are you finished?
Yes, you did.
What? No, he took my point.
Let's
so quick fire.
Okay.
Don't linger.
So that I can leave it.
No. You know,
Dibala, Fred, I'm coming to you. Basically, what you are asking was about SACCOs, and we've said that actually there is an interference. It doesn't matter what the principal secretary says. It doesn't matter what the
I was here with Oparanya and we questioned him around it if there's any infringement that is
there is.
What
did he tell you?
Yeah, and just as what the principal said, there is none.
No, there is.
Yeah,
there is.
Why are they bringing the law if there is no interference?
Let me ask you, Dibal. Okay. Dibal, they say, the Americans say, why fix it if it's
which is not broken?
If it ain't broken.
Yeah. Why do
what is broken about SACCOs?
But the reality on the SACCOs right now is
no, let me tell you.
The sagas that has happened.
SACCOs is about me and Prof here
what are these guys
agreeing to make a saving. Why is the government?
Why is the government going there?
Why is it interesting?
Okay. All right. You done with the point?
Let me leave. I'll come back.
Fred.
Ibal, it is very interesting. I don't know what Olo and Netuli are saying, because even the media acknowledge that they did a mistake in reporting what was not correct. This is misinformation. In fact, we should not even talk about it. The SACCO savings are meant for individual savers. That is what it is. So I don't want to go into those issues because these are propaganda that we are used to. Opposition play those propaganda. But I love the confusion. You know, today I've heard them, the three of them together. So I'm going to deal with them one by one. You know, these people, the confusion, you can see it even here. Weke told us that it is Sifuna Kalonzo. That's what he wishes for. The other gentleman, Naituli, is saying, it's Kalonzo Sifuna. That's not a confusion. I don't know why they are recruiting or not. That's not this confusion. So they Naituli says, I didn't say Kalonzo. No, don't worry. You came late, so we are updating you.
Let him finish his point.
It's the same ticket.
Tactics and strategy. I agree with him. But let me tell you, an experienced politician recognizes that there are situations you use tactic and situations you use strategy. Those who worked with Raila Odinga, they did not let Raila Odinga down. We know Raila Odinga has been winning this election. He won, many of them. But the tactician got elected.
That's now propaganda.
So what we are trying to tell them is that, please, the opposition, you are playing politics of grievance, not governance. Because these people, they are grieving all the time. When they hear IBC say something, they go complaining. When Ruto launches something, they go complaining. When Kenya wants something, they go complaining. These grievances will not give you votes. You must go back, use strategies of opposition. Go back to the boardroom. Tell your principals that the Kenyan people want to know how you are going to fund education. The Kenyan people want to know how you are going to fund healthcare. The Kenyan people want to know how you are going to build infrastructure that is sustainable. They're not telling us. We are asking you whether you want to use strategy or tactic. On the 10th of August 2027, when Kenyans go to the ballot debal, they will remember the road they used to the polling station. They will remember the food they ate to the ballot paper. That is what will give the votes. And that lived experience, as I was saying, we can manifest it today. We can see it. We can see it in agriculture, subsidy, fertilizer. We can see it in affordable housing. People are moving from slum to a unit that is self-contained. We can see it. That is what they want to see.
Right.
The opposition can dismiss it, but they're not giving us alternative. Right. They have none.
So what Fred is telling you is that actually you, the opposition, you can make a good, perfect cover for the Book of Lamentations.
The bow.
Right, that you always lamenting.
The bow, I think I was not here, so if you can let me.
Substantive.
The bow, just let me, because I haven't.
Let's work it. Yeah, Wilke, he's not spoken. Yeah. Prof will come to you.
No, the ball. And this talk, I've had it from the government side.
I wish.
Martin Olo, you know, there is a perception that the opposition will not agree on a candidate.
Yes. Yeah.
Let me make it very clearly here that whether the opposition agrees to support Kalonzo, and all of us, we agree and endorse Kalonzo, that will be our candidate. And let me state it here without fear of contradiction or Kango. Kalonzo is a capable leader who can run this country.
Right.
Let me also be very clear that in the event that
is he your candidate?
He can be our candidate.
Okay.
In the event that these people sit down and they agree on a Sifuna moment, he is very capable. He sells hope. It will be an Obama moment.
Sells hope.
Where, you remember when we had Obama and Biden? So we will sit down and agree. And no, these guys, I've been hearing them talking behind the scenes. They are saying, you know, if Matiang'i is not picked, or Sifuna is not picked, or Kalonzo is not picked, or Wamunyoro is not picked, I want to remind them, in the last dispensation in 2007, where that talk was there, when those people sat down and they agreed it was Raila Amolo Odinga, and everybody went to the ground, and they brought people together, nobody went against anybody.
This is what I thought you would responded to him, because he's talking about the Kenyans voting. The Kenyans will know that there was Linda Mama, really the most vulnerable, because our government is supposed to take care of the most vulnerable Kenyans. The most vulnerable is a woman is going to a maternity as normally. And she is able to deliver because the government has taken care of that in delivery. The Kenyans know Linda Mama, he's not there. It was removed by William Ruto. The Kenyans will know that 1.3 million children are not in school today because the competition, the which used to be there, has been removed by this government. The Kenyans will know that 6.5 billion is indirectly withdrawn from e-citizen. And Parliament investigates and stops because the money has gone to an account they cannot touch. My friend, when the Kenyans vote, you know we have this idea of underestimating the Kenyans' capacity to absorb information and then make decision based on that information. When the Kenyans vote, and I'm trying to see where is William Ruto vote come from. I'm looking at a Kenyan who is employed today in the private sector or in the government. He is paying a housing levy where he will not get the house, or his relative is not getting the house. And the Kenyan who is getting the house, he cannot even fit a bed in that house. That house has no sewage. That house is built by public money, is on the public land, and is being sold.
Okay, Prof.
How foolish do you think these Kenyans really are?
I think even Kenyans now, they've heard.
How foolish do you think these Kenyans are?
They've heard about this narrative, you know, and we've talked a good game about it. What we want to know is the solutions, first of all.
They don't have. They can't give you.
Because
lamentation, grievous, they don't have any.
Now that we're inching closer to the 2027 general election,
Give us your blueprint. What's your policy?
Even as we're talking about Edwin Sifuna, is he a serious presidential candidate, or is just a political disruptor right now?
We know we are not discussing
the two things.
Do you remember when William Ruto was campaigning, what Uhuru said?
Yeah.
Anatanga, isn't it?
Exactly.
So anybody who is out there selling their ideas is free, and you can call them whatever you want to call them.
That's what it is.
You can even call Sifuna whatever you want to call. Any Kenyan is free to stand for election. And since Fred Okango and his government have done very well, they should not be worried.
Exactly. It's on the record.
We are not.
Who becomes the one?
We are not.
Because they have done very well.
We just want to compete.
Their record speaks for itself. They have share for themselves. They have
houses.
What are they worried?
Exactly. They have a record to sell.
Let's talk about what we think could be different. You should just relax.
Give us alternative.
So what we are saying is this, that the likes of Sifuna, and by the way, you dismiss Sifuna at your own
peril.
You dismiss the opposition at your own peril, because what you are saying, and you know, we have a saying that when you run on your own, you can actually praise yourself, and you can even be number one when you think you are running on your own. So that's okay. So when you hear these guys, Fred and others talking, they are already confident, they are very clear, they have done the right things, they have made the money, they are ready to buy their way to, that's okay. But Kenyans have done it before. They have shown that where their interests are, they put their money there. I remember in 2002, professionals and everybody else were meeting together to contribute, to buy posters, to just get on and get Mwai Kibaki elected. That is something that is the spirit of Kenyans you can't take away from them. So I want to encourage them to continue being comfortable, continue being confident, because they already have it.
All right. But facts also are stubborn.
Yes.
And we've just seen also today that Dangote picks Lamu for proposed 2.2 trillion shillings or refinery as design, engineering and soil test to begin, right? That is a good effort. At least we saw this is good diplomacy from also President William Ruto.
And what was that in
now? Listen,
just a minute now.
Just a moment. Also, the foreign direct investment has jumped to 3.2 billion shillings.
Why are we saying that?
In 2025, from 2.3 billion shillings in 2024, more than doubling from 1.5 billion shillings.
No, it's exactly
2.3 billion in 2022 signing. No. Signaling a strong investor confidence. Strong,
that's what we do on overpass in Gong Road.
Investor confidence. I'm just trying to show you because things are ticking up, they're showing up.
That's not, I think you need to be extremely careful because you must have seen the World Bank report on the performance of Kenyan presidents. Ruto is the last. They have ranked all the presidents, the World Bank. That is number one. That's why I'm saying you really need to be careful about contradicting certain things because...
What is the World Bank report saying? Tell us.
The World Bank report is showing the performance of the Kenyan 5 presidents in the first 3 years.
What were the prevailing circumstances in each?
No. They didn't go into that. They didn't talk about the weather.
You see, people don't allow yourself to be dragged into propaganda.
Number 2,
go into substance.
This is number 2 on Dubao. You also living in Kenya. Yeah. You know how many companies have left this country because of an unpredictable tax regime. In the last, there are over 3,000 which have closed down in this country since the president assumed office. You should know that. Number 2, you must live. I think you must live where we live, and you know businesses have closed just in your own
clarification
area where you live.
Unpredictable tax regime has not begun with this administration. This has...
No, to be fair, it started in 2013.
So
to be fair, this thing started in 2013 with Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto.
But the same, this president was the deputy. Yes. So this regime, by the way, when you look at it...
this regime in 2013.
We lost it from...
2013.
From the beginning, when we said we are throwing away Vision 2030, we are throwing away everything that has been done. We introduced even the big 5. There are many things that we've done that has removed us from the road. No doubt.
You should.
What is important is not when it happened. Yeah. What is important is...
The other thing also, I want you to take into account is look what is happening in Nyandarua, for example. If you are have you read the electoral law? You know, this IMBC you are talking about, if I can tell the opposition, they should start knowing that what they're having is what is called Ruto's IMBC. They don't have an IMBC. What is happening there, distributing mattresses, gas cylinders, that is bribery, which is illegal under the Elections Act.
Yeah.
You understand? What happened in Mbere and in Malaba. So when you look what you are doing, if you are confident, you have performed, why do you have to bribe the voters?
Okay, just a moment. Let's hear from Fred. Is you? I lost the sequence.
Yes. Then Weke.
Okay, then Weke.
Dibal, I love the fact that you have said facts speak for themselves. There are 3 lawyers on this bench, and we know. We say res ipsa loquita. You know, you have told Naituli a fact that is tangible. It is there, and he has countered with imaginary numbers from World Bank, a report that we don't know. But circumstances that are prevailing differ. If it is true that this thing started from Uhuru Kenyatta today is their ally. Why don't they tell him? Now, I believe that
hang on, Professor.
The Sifunas of this world, where Weke come from, you know, you call him a disruptor, but this is a disruptor who believes in his own temporary hype that will die very soon. Because Kenyans know. Kenyans always support, or rather, always show up to entertain disruptors because they believe that they are going against status quo. But on the actual voting day, they remember, tomorrow when I wake up, my kids must eat. They have to go to school. I must have a home and a house. I must go to hospital and get proper medication. They remember that. If you are going to bet on somebody who has not demonstrated in his 50 years, 10 years, 5 years in Senate, what he can do with health, then what are you doing? You'd rather go to the devil you know than the devil you don't. Lastly, I appreciate the dismissive attitude that the opposition strategists or tactician here have. It is very dismissive. But let me tell you, when things come to the ground and you realize that the person you are dealing with is not Uhuru Kenyatta, is not Raila Odinga, is not Mwai Kibaki, then you start saying the IBC must go. You start saying Ruto must go because you have lost an election. I am telling them today and tonight that we will not advise you, but Kenyans want to see comparables. They want to weigh, they want to know, why am I voting Ruto and why am I voting the opposition and non-candidate? Give them comparables, give them like for like. If it is SHA, tell us our SHA will be this. The other day I saw them launch, unveiling what they call the people's budget. If you go through it, it was an academic budget. It has got no standing on how to support even infrastructure. It has got no standing on how to even fund the government projects that they say they'll do. They say when they enter office, you know what they're going to do? They are going to do away with affordable housing. Kenyans, I want to tell you, what these people want to do, they want to evict you from the affordable houses that you have gotten to go back to the slum. That is what they are saying. Kenyans, they are saying that education system, 1.3 million children are out of school. You know what they are saying? They are saying that the system that is currently there, that has created an opportunity for interaction between parent, teacher, and the learner is not good for you. They want to do away with it. Be careful. Vote wisely. The opposition is a hype that is temporal, cannot sustain the economy of this country.
You know,
okay.
You know,
That's a good campaign.
Okay.
That's a good campaign.
No. I mean, just saying.
You know, Dibal and all this good English these people are speaking here. I want to assure you and Okango.
Yes.
The next election, and I know you keep on challenging us to give us our policies. We will when the time is right.
I will appreciate.
But I want to tell you that the next election will be purely about economic empowerment.
It's about the economics.
Nothing else. And you see, this is where these guys lost the plot. They had a good document. They had a good policy document. They had a very, very good agreement with the people. You know, what they sold to the people those days called the bottom-up agenda, where they're going to remove people from down and bring them up. These days, that story is not there. That is still where the election, they will lose this election. I want to be very genuine with you. You know, they now came and changed the story. You know, now we are building, they're doing PR things. Like they went to Kisumu for a railway that is meant to start from Naivasha. They went and put for us some SGR in Kisumu and launched it. Us guys from Kisumu, we went and checked in the budget. There was none. We looked for somebody who's funding it. There is no one. But let me tell you, what you're seeing Akina Okango doing, even the Mau Summit Road, you know there is no contract. There is no budget.
It is there.
The money they are using,
with the NSSF.
The money they are using is 30% that they got from NSSF.
Yeah. Which is illegal, by the way.
Which is illegal. The money they're using is the money they got from NSSF.
It's actually illegal.
Which is 30%.
It's actually illegal.
So they're trying to look for money. Now, what is happening for Akina Okango? And this thing will boomerang on your faces. When you saw Gen Zs go to the streets, one of the key issues that they went to the streets for was issues of economic empowerment. And yet you guys were swimming in money. There was opulence. Now guess what is happening? Junet goes to Migori. In every Arambe he gives 10 million. Where is he getting the money from? Akina our people.
He's a businessman. He's an investor.
You know, Okango, listen to me.
Well, we have
I see your team. I see your team.
If you doubt his,
every Arambe, Akina Okango who didn't even have fare, is giving out 2 million.
Show us his tax returns. Okango, show us your tax returns.
Give us tax returns where you are able to afford 10 million per fundraising.
Yeah, show us.
Let me tell you, the policy that we have in currently, and I want Okango to know that policy, is very simple. Ruto must go. The policy that you have, one term. The policy that we have, unaenda nyumbani. That is the biggest policy that we have currently. The other one, wait for when we choose our candidates, we will tell them the other policy.
This is where we were also in 2022. Now, of course, I want to come to Martin and, of course, Professor.
Yes.
First of all, Professor, you are a professor of management and leadership.
Yes.
We all know about trait theory, right? When it comes to leadership, and the charisma model.
Yeah.
Aren't we still on the same, you know, circling around the same issue?
No, charisma.
On the trait theory and the charisma. That now we have somebody who is swaying the crowd. People are saying, okay, yeah, he's moving the masses, he's very eloquent, he has a posture of a leader. But if we as Kenyans could plumb deeper and try to see, there is much more than charisma and the trait theory. You understand very well. Because this is all that also President William Ruto embodied before he was elected.
Yes, but I can tell you what you
So are we swaying Kenyans in the same narrative and in the same direction again?
I would
that
actually...
we don't see beyond charisma and traits that you have, you as a leader.
I will give you a very clean difference between President William Ruto and Sifuna, because I think that's where you are going with the charisma thing. Sifuna, you look at something called consistency in leadership. Sifuna has been very consistent. That day, when this government was killing young people, the members of parliament, that is when I noted Sifuna as a leader, and I can say this on national television. I called Alonso Musyoka. I told him you need to go and talk to Sifuna now, before the ego is embarrassed, because Sifuna is going to be something in Kenya. I told him. This guy, he did not go down with the Babu Wino, where the MPs went under. He walked out. He went there and he was trying to tell those people to stop shooting the children. That touched me. I realized there is somebody here. And then the next thing I realized Sifuna is when Raila now eventually did the handshake. And there was a meeting of the parliamentary group where Mother Karua said, I'm not here if the people are injured and the Kirundi are not going to be included in a part of this thing. Yeah. Sifuna made it very clear that I will not follow you there. That was the second time he told Raila in his face that I'm not following you to this man. Yeah. He has killed our children. It was very clear. From that time, Sifuna was always consistent that I will not follow you here. This is a leader who proved himself that he can take a position where is no personal benefit. Because there was no personal benefit for Sifuna, whatever he was doing. Now, William Ruto is a totally different story. Right. Because you have somebody who Kenyans were very clear about his history. But they were Christians. Christians is about the forgiveness. And it's about the people changing. The Kenyans didn't know that the power actually did not change you. I like Michelle Obama said, it reveals who you are. That is a primary difference between Sifuna and William Ruto. And I'm telling you, if Sifuna becomes president, this country may very well go where it would have gone even Jaramogi became president. All right. Because the problem, let me just finish, please. The problem of this country is that the person who alikuwa na Hutu, who was human, did not become the first president of Kenya. We got a president, in my opinion, who, if he was not the president, he would have been robbing in banks. All right. Martin,
briefly, so that we can also change the topic, please.
Dibal, there's something interesting here that we need to accept. And that's why when Fred, who is in the other side, and my friend here, Brian, who is also deep in politics and this, I'm just an academic. My business is to analyze this area. And I want to remind them that in politics, there's no formula. This business, they are saying, oh, development, people will see what you have done. Story. Those are stories of Abunwasi. When he says, oh, the opposition does not have a message, they don't need one. No. What they need is a narrative. For example, we were told about Hustler, we were told about wheelbarrow. The bottom up, and somebody was on a wheelbarrow. What was the policy there? Exactly. So when we look for serious things,
and that's why we were saying, can we just maybe uncouple ourselves from such kind of politics?
No, No.
Because when it comes and you plumb deeper, there's emptiness.
No,
when you're given that office, you don't deliver.
Wait a minute.
You might be having so much hype around also Sifuna, but now when it steps into the office and then he finds there's empty coffers,
it works. When Obama showed up, he was a one-term senator. What had he done? What did
nothing.
The only thing he had is a message and a BlackBerry
Of hope.
of hope. And audacity. And he kept on going and going and going, and people had confidence in him. And so if you want a person with charisma, they are there. Even Hillary Clinton had it. When you look at Trump today, he's in power.
I think he's a madman. He told them to stop eating pets.
He just simply came
saying, pets.
He had been
Onagula, you are pets.
He said he had been, the election had been stolen. He didn't have anything else to say. So when these guys are saying, one time they are saying, Linda Mwananchi, that's a message. If it resonates, well and good. So where Fred,
don't diminish Linda Mwananchi though.
Wait, no, what I'm saying is when Fred is looking for serious discourse, he's looking for agenda, is looking for
but I want you to look at Sifuna's consistency.
No, but that I have agreed. And you've made the point. I'm not going to repeat what you've said because that's also true. And that's why, for example,
interest of time,
today he is in the public space because of what he has to
consistency.
No doubt
which we are lacking for Linda's in
and what I want to remind him that because of say how Ruto felt or people felt Ruto was treated, the reason why Mount Kenya came behind him is look, we promised this guy and they didn't like the way he was being treated. They said, look, we promised him, we'll come back to you. So people keep their promises.
All right. We had also Oburu Odinga today making a very interesting statement from State House. Let's just listen in to what he had to say, then we can try and analyze that a bit.
The responsibility of developing your country is yours alone. And therefore, Your Excellency, this idea is very transformative, just like the other ideas we have been toying around with, like this affordable housing. We have been in government. I was an assistant minister in finance. We tried to move, but private interests around who want to benefit from small infrastructure which does not move the country anywhere, always come in to put pressure on government not to move. And sometimes then there is too much democracy. There should be some little benevolent dictatorship so that some things can move. Mr. President, I don't want to say that you should be a dictator. I'm not saying that.
That man tried to be a dictator in ODM. Look at what he has now. He lost,
Oburu,
the soul of
Oburu. Let me tell you what I remember most about Oburu in the last election.
Just a moment, Prof. Let's just go sequentially so that everyone has a time because of interest of time as well. Fred, what do you think about, of course, your party leader with this particular sentiment, benevolent dictator? And this is in light also of what Kofi Annan Foundation, the report they've just released, that they're indicating that as we're heading towards the 2027 election, there is a chances of post-election violence, which is very high, at 84%.
Dibal, you have listened to the young, old youth leader, Dr. Oburu Oginga. And in his last statement, he has said, that function was about sovereign wealth fund. I'll not talk about it today. We'll talk about it next time. But what Oburu Oginga was saying in context, in political context, and political science students know, I was telling Weke, the issue is not about telling President William Ruto to be a dictator. Benevolent dictator, there are two words, benevolent, for the good. Dictator is somebody who has all the power and the ruler. You cannot mix the two. But the political scholars coined the word. And when it was coined to refer historically to people like Lee Kuan Yew, who were very strict, had all the power, but they did good to the people. In this context, Kenya remains a constitutional democracy with scheduled elections. We cannot go there. We cannot have a dictator, whether benevolent or we cannot. But we must have a leader that is for the good of the public, for the good of the people. And that's what Oburu is saying. Oburu is saying benevolent people are pro the people. When they do projects that are mass benefiting, there are people who go to the court and stop it. There are people who come to TV shows and criticize them. There are people who say,
like
no,
you used to do
stolen
before.
Money. We are saying that, Mr. President, do what is good to the people for the people, because these are the people who elected you, and you would want them to re-elect you. In doing so, you become benevolent. The word dictator cannot be separated from benevolent, because that's how it was coined historically. Read history. You're a researcher, you know that. I know that. If you read people that for some reasons have helped their countries, they were benevolent. But unfortunately, some were dictators. In Kenya, we have accepted. We have a constitution that is running the country, rule of law, and we appreciate that we have a country that must do things that is better for the people.
Right. He questions the consolidation of democracy. He questions why also, too much democracy sometimes is not really good.
Churchill said democracy is not the best form of government, but he has not seen a better one.
He's not seen a better one. First of all, let me say, let me say on national TV, I am very ashamed and very disappointed as a follower of Raila Amolo Odinga. I am very ashamed, and really it's very disheartening that the things that ODM, my party, stood for, the things that we fought for, the things that we managed to ensure that the people of this country can stand on democratic principles. Now a leader of ODM can use the words benevolent dictatorship. It's very disheartening.
Orange Democratic Movement.
Orange Democratic.
There was a disclaimer.
And I'm even more ashamed to be a close friend of my brother or Kango, who is a lawyer, who is a brilliant guy, who we fought for in this country, trying to explain to us what benevolent dictatorship is. Okango, let me school you. Characteristics of a benevolent dictator. Number one, makes decisions without needing public approval or democratic elections.
No public participation.
No public participation.
That's gone.
That is a core component of our constitution.
Article
They are
10.
telling us now, let's not public participation. Let's not look at democratic principles. Let us not ensure that there is no freedom of assembly. May limit political freedoms, opposition, even while pursuing policies intended to help the people. Maintain strong control over government and political system. A benevolent. Then you want to come and tell us here, these guys have all gone to school.
Out of context.
Right? Don't tell us that they are what benevolent and dictatorship, and they cannot be used.
People will say, can we maybe look across in Rwanda, right?
You see,
maybe there is a sense of sobriety in Rwanda because we have a firm hand.
I want to be a devil's advocate here.
We don't want to use any other example to explain Kenya's issues. What Oburu is saying, and I want to agree with Brian here, and maybe even just to remind him that part of Raila's problem were always these fellows here. That whereas Raila was meaning well and wanted to help this country, the people who dragged him back,
like
these are the people who would make sure that there were no fair nominations in ODM. People who take money to make sure that funny candidates.
Those are very serious.
These are no. This is not a party leader, my friend. So, I'm talking about the speech I've just had. A party leader
that Oburu Oginga took money from aspirants in ODM. Can you confirm that here?
Listen to me. I'm saying these are the people who misled Raila. These are the people who made sure there was no democracy in nominations in ODM. That's what I'm saying. Now, I've told you. You can't pin me. You can't pin me on this. So, having said that, Dibal, Kenya cannot be run on examples of other countries. Neither can we compare ourselves with Somalia or whatever. No.
Agree.
Let's just ask, what is our constitution about? It is very clear we are constitutional democracy, public participation is integral.
That's true.
Elections are part of what we do.
Correct.
Democracy is part of what we do. So if you want to go and advise President Ruto or indeed advise Kalonzo or advise Sifuna that these things don't matter, we shall come here and remind you they matter.
Thank you.
Because the good thing about this thing is that next year we'll be here and maybe, like last time I was debating with Fred, he was very much Kanu and very much on this side. Now he's very much on that side. So again, and me, I've always been where I am here. So you'll find me here again.
What about working?
No, Brian has been fairly consistent, but he's always been audio.
For a while.
Let me come in here as the devil's
our closing remarks.
Let me come as,
also want to
as the devil's advocate on this issue of benevolent dictator. The country actually can do with a benevolent dictator.
It can do.
It can do.
It can do.
It can do with
Yes,
but that benevolent dictator must be a clean person. Remember Chairman Mao, he told China that this country cannot move anywhere until it can feed itself. So he declared what is called the Great Leap Forward. And he said, some people who oppose us, we are going to kill them for their own good. Chairman Mao did not have pockets. He was not a thief. He was a clean person, doing everything for the Chinese, which had nothing to do with the Amos and Linda. Now, if you get a Chairman Mao telling us that here, we may very well actually accept it. Because you've been doing it for Kenya, not for himself.
So we'll be rolling back on
when you look at somebody like
I will not support him on that.
No, I know, but I said I will be a devil's advocate. When you do something like Kwanju, the guy there, in declared zero tolerance on corruption. Meritocracy. He said we will define public service.
All right.
He lived to that indoctrination and delivered a very useless swampy island to the first class country that we know today. We can get somebody like that, that is fine. The same thing with the South Korean dictator. Okay? And you can say it's the same thing with Rwanda because this guy has lifted his country. But you see, you can't have a normal...
Okay. All right.
Okay.
We need to
stop there.
Yeah, please wind up.
Yeah.
I wanted just also to, as we're winding up, interesting, because there was also on Monday, we saw EACC now saying they're going to actually get the 1.5 billion shillings that was embroiled in this Ruaraka land saga. I can see there's some information here. I think from Amanco. This is Marende and Nyaundi advocates. And they're saying, if my director may just put up this, they're saying that a clarification on Ruaraka land acquisition. This is, this statement is issued in public interest following the judgment of a court of appeal on July the 3rd, 2026 with respect to the Ruaraka land acquisition and the subsequent statement by the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission released on 6th of July 2026 indicating its intention to revive investigations and prefer charges against the individuals it deems to be culpable in the matter. It is recognized that for the longest time, the name of Dr. Fred Matiang'i surfaces whenever the matter of the Ruaraka land acquisition is issued and is discussed. For the purpose of transparency and clarity and to dispel the mountain of lies and political propaganda being propagated in the public arena, it is imperative that we set the record straight and present the undistorted facts on Ruaraka land case, exactly as they were being determined by a 3-judge bench on Environment and Land Courts ELC and affirmed by the Court of Appeal. And of course, this is a long letter here. We thought this is water under the bridge, but of course we've seen now the resumption of it. Why then will this particular firm want to clarify what already the court has, given directives, even as we prepare our closing remarks?
Let me deal with that issue.
Yeah?
It's necessary that clarification comes out. Why? Because as soon as the judgment came out, the EACC says it wants to revive the case, both criminal and civil. Now, The facts are very glaring. You cannot get 1.5 billion out of government through one signature. In fact, the cabinet secretary does not sign anywhere to release money. So when you want to pin Dr. Matiang'i on it, what are you saying? Politics.
The buck stops with them.
No, it doesn't.
Right?
It does not.
With the
Wait a minute. On matters of matters of public land acquisition or public, acquisition of land for public purposes, is the National Land Commission.
Yeah.
National Land Commission. 2010 Constitution, National Land Convention. Now, in this matter, please understand that on 13th of September 2016, the National Land Commission writes to the Cabinet Secretary asking that they have investigated and they want the Cabinet Secretary to confirm whether these schools sit on this land and whether this land is public or private, and the Cabinet Secretary was supposed to respond.
Yeah.
On 17th of February of 2017, 6-7 months later, the Principal Secretary responds to that letter, because it was written to the Cabinet Secretary. He responds to that letter, and the Cabinet Secretary, the Principal Secretary, is told in a letter that Swazuri wrote from the National Land Commission that no, it's the Cabinet Secretary that's supposed to respond to this letter as per Section 107 of the of the Land Act. So the Cabinet Secretary says, fine, if that is what you want, I can confirm there are public schools here, and you do what is within your mandate to ensure that those public schools have the title. Did he order for compensation? No. Would he have ordered for compensation? No. So what else happens is the National Land Commission begins the process, advises the PS. Was the PS the one who then released? Let me make the point because it's very important.
We need to wind up.
Yes, we need to wind up.
Studio.
So the PS actually writes to the Treasury. The Treasury, the PS or Treasury authorizes the money. The PS writes to Attorney General. Attorney General gives an opinion and says yes, that money can be paid. That kind of money can't be paid without the AG's opinion. The AG gave an opinion. So how do you pin one person on this?
All right. Let's just wait for the outcome of this. Yeah. We see where it will go. Then at least we'll discuss it robustly. Can we get your closing remarks briefly?
Dibal,
30 seconds.
I'll just make my closing remarks on this issue of Ruaraka. We cannot litigate it here, but I want whoever is responsible, whatever happens, I want to refer them to the Constitution of Kenya that you gave us here. Article 226, Sub-Article 5. If a holder of a public office, including a political office, directs or approves the use of public funds contrary to the law or instructions, the person is liable for any loss arising from that use and shall make good of the loss whether person remains holder of office or not.
Thank you.
Anyone
leave it at that
was involved must make good.
Right, Brian Weke, your closing remarks? 30 seconds.
Dibal, this role of acquisition of land solely belongs to the National Land Commission. And for the National Land Commission to pay you, Dibal, is a very simple thing. Number one, they have to do a search and to ascertain who owns this land. So once they've done that, they call for public participation. Number two, they gazette the person who actually is going to be compensated. Then, if they don't have that funding, they ask the MP.
30 seconds are down.
That is responsible. So you cannot peg this thing on Matiang'i. It is perfect.
Right. Let me jump you. Come to you. Yes. 30 seconds.
Yes. Let me say this. Personally, there are 3 people we need to hold accountable for our mess today. Jaramogi Odinga would have taken power in 1963. Dr. William Mutunga should never have allowed Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto to be president in 2013 because they were already indictees of the worst of crimes against humanity. Mwai Kibaki, when he took power, should have gone against President Moi's crimes and Kenyatta won crimes.
When he stole elections, not
okay? He should have gone up. These 3 people, they let us down. Now, the next government,
30 seconds over.
The next government, it must end impunity with the finality.
Thank you. Martin, 20 seconds.
Dibal, we have a country to run and a country to truth. As far as I'm concerned, if the government wants to give Matiang'i mileage, let them try and prosecute him on this one. They will actually have helped him politically.
All right, thank you. Gentlemen, what a very...
helped him politically.
So much, I wish we had more time.
They will open the Pandora's box.
But nonetheless, thank you. All right, thank you for your valued company. You've been watching The Inside here. Have a nighty night, sleep easy, and a restorative night, and a good day tomorrow. Thank you for your valued company.
Football fans, the world stops from the 11th of June to the 19th of July 2026. Watch all 104 FIFA World Cup football matches live on Azam TV.